The Law Factor with advocate Clarence Arenas Gandawa.
Greetings of the day. Before a citizen can vote, before they can work, before they can own property, before they can access justice, they must first be recognized. Identity is not paperwork. Identity is personhood. And in the digital age, identity has migrated from the registry to the database, from the ledger to the server, from the fingerprint to the algorithm. But when identity becomes digital, so does exclusion. A corrupted file can erase a life. A mismatched biometric can deny a right. A system error can silence a citizen. Digital identity must empower, not endanger. The politics of recognition, inclusion versus exclusion. Digital identity systems promise efficiency, but efficiency without equity becomes discrimination. Consider the risks. A name spelled incorrectly, a fingerprint that fails to scan, a server that crashes, a profile flagged as incomplete, a database that cannot be corrected. These are not technical glitches, these are barriers to citizenship. When identity becomes digital, exclusion becomes automated. And automated exclusion is the most dangerous form because it hides behind the neutrality of technology. Let's look at a case study. The citizen locked out by a corrupted profile. A young woman applied for a government service. Her digital profile showed an error, identity mismatch. She brought her birth certificate, her national ID, her school records, her baptism card, her clinic card. But the system refused her. The clerk shrugged. The supervisor said, "Try again next month." The database would not update. She was not denied by law, she was denied by software. Her existence was questioned by a machine. This is not modernization, this is digital marginalization. Judicial responsibility, identity as a constitutional right. Courts must recognize that identity is not administrative, it is constitutional. Judges must insist on the right to correct digital records, the right to appeal automated decisions, the right to human review, the right to access one's own data, the right to be recognized without discrimination. A court that protects identity protects citizenship itself. The rock must defend the person from the tyranny of the database. Let's talk Parliament, building a framework of digital dignity. Parliament must legislate with clarity and compassion. Laws must require transparent digital identity systems, independent oversight bodies, clear procedures for correcting error, protection of biometric data, penalties for misuse of personal information, interoperability across ministries, because when identity is fragmented, citizenship becomes fragile. Digital identity must be a bridge, not a barrier. Public education. Know your identity rights. Citizens must understand how their data is being collected, how to challenge errors, how to request corrections, how to protect their biometric information, how to demand accountability. Identity is not a favor from the state. Identity is a right, and rights must be defended. Radios, schools, chiefs' councils, churches, these must teach digital citizenship with the same seriousness as civic education. Eswatini in focus, fragmented systems, fragile rights. In Eswatini, identity systems remain scattered. Birth registration in one office, national IDs in another, passports in another, health records in another. No unified digital profile, no clear correction mechanisms. This fragmentation creates confusion. Confusion creates exclusion. Exclusion creates injustice. Eswatini must build a unified, transparent, accountable identity framework before digital exclusion becomes a national crisis. Identity must not depend on the mood of a clerk or the reliability of a server. A nation that cannot recognize its citizens cannot protect them. A system that cannot correct itself cannot claim legitimacy. Digital identity must be accurate, accessible, and accountable, or it becomes a tool of silent oppression. Your identity is your dignity. Your identity is your right. Your identity must never be negotiable. The law moves forward, you must move with it. See you next Thursday. The work continues.
Springfield Law Clinic, justice defined, rights protected. We are here to serve.